Happy Diwali to all of those celebrating Diwali and happy Halloween. Or for me, it's just a dress up day, which I love. Obviously, I would dress up every day if it was socially acceptable. Y'all remember that show, Mr. Dress Up? I feel like that show was made for me and people like me. So yeah, those are butterflies on my hairband. I didn't wear my full butterfly costume. um, Keeping it nice and simple for the daytime. And yeah, I think that's really fun, especially working with children that, they get to dress up and tap into what they want to pretend to be, or maybe another side of themselves. It's fun, it's cool. I'm not a fan of the candy thing, but I mean, let the children live. It's an experience. Personally, I had way too many cavities as a child, so that's why I'm not a fan of it. Um, and yeah, I just think it brings out a more fun, lighthearted time. And today just happens to also be Diwali. Quick little helpful tip for pronunciation of Diwali. I know there's a W in there, it's confusing, but it's actually pronounced more with a V, like Deepavali or Diwali. V is in Victor. So, yeah, Diwali. And I feel like with the Vedic astrology, because Diwali falls on a different day every Western calendar year, usually. And I don't know when the last time it fell on Halloween, but that's kind of cool that it's on the 31st today. Usually it's in November sometime. So the stars are aligning. Kind of cool. Yeah, so I did my Mendi just for fun. Yes, I did it myself. The experts will be cringing, but the 5-year-olds will be pretty impressed. I'm pretty impressed and proud of myself. This year it turned out pretty good. Um, the best that I've ever done it, actually. So that's my fun, creative expression there, which I love to do just for myself, just for fun. And before we get into the topic, I just wanted to go into a little bit of the significance of Diwali, and not as a religious thing, but I do feel in many mainstream cultures, religion, whatever you want to call it, there is something going around, something going on with that switch from summer to fall time. And it's very, very common. There's a lot of, fasting or different rituals or different practices or different, you know, suggestions and stuff from your spiritual teachers and things like that. So, what I like to do, well, first I'll just go over what is the literal translation of Diwali. The significance of Diwali is to show how the light can overpower the darkness. The name Diwali is derived from the Sanskrit word Deepavali, meaning row of lights. Kind of cool. Um, yeah, and then what I like to do is, that's from the internet. I like to go and search on the internet what is the deep esoteric meaning of da 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 da. Especially with Sanatan Dharma, I feel like that really helps bring it home for me, helps bring a deeper understanding, helps me connect with the energies in play within me and around me. So let's get into it. So Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, which means lead me from darkness to light. It has a deep spiritual meaning. It essentially means the awareness of the inner light Shakti, that is a manifestation of Adi Shakti. It is this light that has the power to outshine darkness and clear all obstacles in life. It is this light that leads us from an inner state of inertia towards exuberance and awareness, to lead a truly fulfilling life. As the Shakti within rises, she unfolds the magic of life in manifold ways. Just soak that in. Ushering wealth in all forms. Diwali, during the time of Diwali and even the days following it, all sources of wealth are venerated. Goddess Lakshmi Pujan is an important part of the rituals, which is a seeker's desire for prosperity, wealth, both material and beyond, and good health. The efforts of men and women to keep everything clean and tidy, buy new things, or even discard. So make space, empty your cup, let go of that which no longer serves you. And Abhyanga Snana, ritualistic baths, eating seasonal foods, cooking with herbs, yoga and exercises, and subsequently igniting the fire in our body, especially the digestive fire. Oh. The Festival of Light is also a time for expression, as it finds its way through sharing, caring, dressing up the deities, and creativity as expressed through art and performance. And it's coming into the darkest times of the months and darkest months. You know what I mean. That was kind of loud. Okay, that's cool. I just wanted to share that, and whatever is helpful is helpful. So what I just wanted to talk about today, to go with the vibe of Diwali and darkness to light, is something that really helped me in my personal life, and especially with the older children, 6 years and up. And just, it became a chant, it became a mantra for me. So it's the 3 C's. And I don't know where it came from, it just came to me. Kind of cool. It's communication, cooperation, collaboration. And yeah, it really became a chant. When I was alone and by myself, I'd be like, communication, cooperation, collaboration. I'm offbeat, but that's okay. So I would really get into it and break down the words for myself and commune, and what does that mean, and to gather together, and they're all co. So I'm co-creating my reality with seen and unseen forces, cooperation. How do I operate? And there's that operation game with the doctor, and I mean that's going really deep level with operating your body is your temple and all that good stuff. We do our best, not about perfection. Let's remember that too. And collaboration, break that down as well, and collaborate and lab. Oh, it's like an experiment. Okay, I'm like a scientist. Let's just take that data and make those observations. So yeah, of course, with everything else, I went to the deep end with it. I'm not even a fan of English language that much. I won't go into that, but sometimes it's cool when you break down certain words and you find out what they mean to you. So communication, collaboration, cooperation. And yeah, I worked with these 2 children in the home, and one was 6 years old and one was 8 years old. And they were getting into a lot of fights. They had a lot on their plate, so it was understandable why they were fighting all the time. But I was like, Miss Hema ain't having it, So I did find that I had to be firm and put my soldier coat on, so to speak, metaphorically. And they responded really well to that when they needed firm boundaries. But most of the time, the gentle approach worked really well for them. They just needed someone to watch them dance or watch them sing a song and listen like with your whole heart. Oh my God, that 8-year-old had such a beautiful voice and sang so soulfully. I was like, parents, did you know that he has such an amazing singing voice? And they're like, what? He sings? And bless them. They put their heart and soul into parenting, but we can only know what we know, right? So they appreciated that, and they said, oh, okay, maybe we'll get him into like singing classes or something. We had no idea that, he was even into that. That's really cool. And the 6-year-old, she did this whole like interpretive dance for me, and it went on for like more than an hour. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I was like, wow, this girl's going places. So that was our chant all the time, walking through the woods, going to pick strawberries or whatever we were doing. Communication, cooperation, collaboration, all the time, over and over again. And still at 6 and 8, you got to translate what does that mean to you at that age and stage in your life. So there was opportunities where I could kind of go deeper with them, be like, ask them, like, do you think that this is communicating right now? How are you feeling? What do you need right now? So it was almost as a therapist, but not quite. They needed that. So what was really cool was after a few weeks, the 8-year-old was like, oh, Hema, guess what? I was like, what? He's like, it's communication. I was like, yeah. Cooperation. I was like, yeah. He's like, collaboration. I'm like, yeah. He's like, and courage. Oh my gosh, I almost cried. It was like, yeah, you got it. He really tapped into it and the essence of what it meant to me, and that is basically Diwali to me as well in a nutshell. I mean, when you're operating in the darkness and the shadows in a very depressed state, the Diwali is like every day for you. You're like, lead me from darkness to light, please. And, it is a dance. It is a guidance happening. And you have to be open to the signs and one thing leads you to another, It is your choice, but there's intuition and your mind as well. So there's a lot of other interactions and who knows what else. But to say I have crippling anxiety, but I'm going to take the courage to go to that grocery store, to even, not be so socially awkward and ask the cashier, hi, how are you? That was very difficult for me at a stage in my life. I would be pacing up and down the grocery aisles being like, what do I say? How do I say it? What about my body language? I don't know. So, yeah, grown in leaps and bounds, clearly. And, communication, cooperation, collaboration, and courage. Like, the wisdom that just comes from young children. Yes, they can be like wild animals sometimes, but really, how much of that is them, and how much of that is them being sponges and just mirrors, reflecting back to you your own gunk as, the adults in their life. That's their job, basically, is to really mirror back your really good things, and you'll be like, wow, oh my gosh, I didn't know my child knows this stuff. But then you realize they've been watching you and observing and picking up on those good things that you do. And then at the same time, they're going to mirror back every little thing that you have not looked at your entire life. But I love that about families. I love that about intimate relationships, even adult to adult. That's what we do. We provide each other mirroring, and if we can do it in a as gentle and respectful way that we can, it can be so transformative and so helpful. I am so grateful for the mirrors in my life and people giving me feedback honestly and in the most constructive way that they can. Sometimes it doesn't come out like that, but I have to understand, what is going on in their life and what are their intentions. If their intention is clearly to help me and they're clearly doing it in the most kindest way possible, we can't know everything, but it's, these are people who have known me since birth, right? So it's valuable. They're reflection of me, I don't know how to say it, but they're reflecting back to me what they observe from me, the good and the bad, however you want to label it. And that in itself is so, so helpful, I find. So yeah, you have to do this on your own. So it is like you're alone. But really, are you ever alone? Hello, trees. Like there is energy and frequencies all around us. I think we understand the basics of that, with Nikola Tesla and other people in the field of energy and how that works, in my limited understanding. But from direct experience, it's difficult for me to put into words, but it's like one foot in this world and one foot in another world, doing a little hopscotch, double dutch. So I think it's very important to remember to tune in. Remember that everything is inside you already that you need. And to scan, keep scanning. Am I feeling safe? Am I not feeling safe? These are my choices. Scan the environment, scan your surroundings, scan other people, scan yourself. And it only takes a split second, and just connect with your breath. And possibly miracles can happen. And maybe some transformation. So that's what the butterfly represents for me at the core. And I think we get that. It's been done to death. The butterfly metaphor. So, yeah. Just wanted to keep this nice and short today, and succinct and helpful. And I'm signing off. I wish you well.